everybody. Welcome to the SoundUp podcast. Not to be confused with any others. My name's Chris. This is Sean.
Hello.
And I actually think we're supposed to do this the other way around because I thought you were going to ask me questions.
Well, you know what? I think when...
Maybe on our podcast, the guest introduces a show, not the host.
Well, you know, we're both the hosts, except today we're talking about the blog post that you wrote. So this is kind of what this is going to be. This show is going to be interviews with each other, ideas with each other, interviews with members, non-members, people in the voice space. But today specifically, I sort of kind of wanted to talk about a use case with Alexa Flash Briefings. And you recently put a post up on the site that I'm pulling up now called Alexa Flash Briefings for Realtors. People might not know. You're a realtor.
I am. That is not a lie.
Yeah, and we have a lot of members that are realtors and a lot more people getting in the space that are realtors. And really, so what you're talking about this is content, different platforms and stuff, and why you think that an Alexa Flash Briefing is important. You give some examples and stuff, so kind of give us an overview of what your post was about.
All right, so we were talking about creating content around different industries that we think need to be in the voice and audio space and need to be using products like we offer, like our Flash Briefing membership. So obviously the first one that is more in my wheelhouse as one of my main businesses is the real estate industry for over 16 years now, and talking about utilizing content and specifically audio content through Flash Briefings to provide some value to audiences. So my whole thesis really in the real estate field was that you should be doing short audio Flash Briefings and somewhere in the 90 seconds to 3 minute mark, if possible, that is providing some sort of consistent value to either buyers, sellers, or whatever audience member you're trying to reach that's related to real estate, and gave some ideas in the blog that I think real estate agents can use to create audio content around and use on Flash Briefings, and probably a lot more that probably could have been said in there that you can like message us about, but just wanted to start the conversation of here's why you should be using Flash Briefings in real estate. Here are some ideas around using Flash Briefings in real estate, and here's how SoundUp, our company, can help very easily get you into this space on Alexa in the Flash Briefing space.
Yeah, one of the things I like that you had here, and I agree with everything you said, is you have some ideas, because that's one of the things that I think a lot of people...
I should probably pull that up too.
Yeah, they go, oh, well, I'm a realtor. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. You know, you're not going to post things that you would post on social media. You'll do a couple of different things, but a couple of the ones that I like, especially if you're in the area, you have the buyer and seller tips. I think that if you are local to an area, you go onto the Alexa app or Amazon.com and you search and you see nothing really related to your local area, and you can do a buying or living in this area type Flash Briefing where, you know, daily, weekly, however, you talk about aspects of the neighborhood, you know.
Right.
That I think is buying and selling tips in that area, talking about school districts and stuff like that. And at the same time, using that Flash Briefing maybe as an archive on iTunes or somewhere else where people can go listen to old episodes. But at the same time, if you just happen to bring up local events, which is another one too, people that currently live there might be interested in the Flash Briefing. So you can kind of go with that twofold and get people that aren't looking to buy now, and then they might, and kind of all in one.
Right. I think you got to look at the audience that's using these devices that are going to be kind of first adopters, first movers, and kind of diversify your content. That it just can't be. It can be, but I would suggest maybe sprinkling in multiple facets of positioning yourself as a community go-to expert in a community, neighborhood, town, city, maybe not just real estate, but real estate in addition to, because you'll be able to build an audience since the space is so wide open right now. And that's why we're trying to push and get people who companies and brands and individuals to understand that this is a first mover space, and you can get into this voice first area on Alexa, on Google, and these platforms. So you want to position yourself to build an audience, and that may not be just real estate tips. You may need a local event one. You may need a best restaurant in town, and you can bring everybody back to your brand as a real estate agent, but by providing valuable information in the space that may not just be real estate related. I like buyer and seller tips. I think that's easy. That's an easy one for us to have. And you can have multiple flash briefings, by the way. Don't know if you knew that. But you don't just have to have one flash briefing skill. You can have some different ones and promote them. Local events or local hot spots. You can get more hyper local in your flash briefing about like tips just for sellers, tips just for buyers, first time buyers, neighborhood overviews. So there's a couple ideas in that blog, but as a whole, I think real estate agents need to kind of come outside the box a little bit and see, do you become just the real estate expert in your Alexa space, or do you become a go-to information resource in an area as
from other ventures that we have created video for we've a local realtor that we have a video series that's just about living in North Myrtle Beach area. And that has gotten him listings. It's gotten him recognition. He was a year into being a realtor and got a lot of recognition from that by being that local expert. And actually in March...
By going to like restaurants and going to...
Yeah, going to a neighborhood, going to a restaurant,
spot. Yeah.
stuff like that. I don't think there's, if you want to take it a step further and bring in local business people and have them say, do the events for the weekend and just kind of have fun with it, involve the community with it. And, I think there's a lot of fun things you can do. I don't want to go off on a whole idea train, but you mentioned having multiple flash briefings. You could actually go to Amazon or the back end of our site, and if you want to reach out to us, we can kind of explain this, and maybe this is a future blog post. You can create 3 different flash briefings with 3 different names with the same audio feed just to split test and see which one actually picks up. Right. You might be surprised. One called Living Local might do way better than Let Me Sell You a House.
Right.
As titles for the briefings. And that's something you can do. And I think that is a post that we should put together, is how to split test and get the best depending on your industry. Because there's a lot of people that might see realtor, real estate and go, I don't know if I want to do that. Yeah. So I think that kind of depends. Also, just keep in mind, keep it short and sweet. Don't do 10-minute, in my opinion. I don't think you should do a 10-minute. If you're going to do it once a week, I wouldn't. It depends on how you do it, but I think you definitely need to test those different types of scenarios.
Yeah, I mean, I do have personally, I have a flash briefing but I'm kind of testing just the audience and what kind of listenership. In fact, I need to check those analytics today. But I have like a Q&A show that I'm using that audio in a flash briefing. And Amazon does check your audio against what you say your flash briefing is about. Like they will kind of verify that you're talking about what, so you can't just like say cooking tips because you think cooking tips is downloaded a lot and then talk about selling homes in the audio feed. Like they actually check that because they were like telling me that my audio wasn't matching what my description was, so I kind of had to adjust.
Was this after you already had it published, or trying?
Yeah,
to
like I tried to go live with it on the Q&A audio thing, and it said that it wasn't. I said like buyer and seller tips, but then when I had to change the title because it wasn't matching with what the audio was. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
that's kind of weird. They kind of listened to it.
I mean, makes sense.
Yeah.
No one wants to hear hockey tips while looking for a home.
Right. So be careful of that. But I have the point of that was I have a longer Q&A one that's like 7 to 8 minute show. Sean doesn't like it, but I'm kind of testing it.
I think each thing has its time and place, and if it's a Q&A show, you have more. Maybe you break that up into 5 episodes throughout the week.
Yeah, I could probably micro it down.
Yeah, see, that's how you test and explore. But you're in a testing phase anyway, so I think you kind of see how that goes. Was there anything that you've thought about afterwards or want to add about or to this post?
From this
afterthoughts?
Point, yeah, afterthoughts of writing it. No, I think this is like getting into flash briefings, creating that audio content. Most of you guys in the real estate are probably podcasting already. I think there's some benefit probably from you could micro down your podcast and take out clips like Sean was just saying and probably use it in a flash briefing space if you get creative with that. But flash briefing's so easy to create. Companies like us, SoundUp, are making it easier to create it really, really quickly, efficiently, schedule it. And it's kind of a no-brainer, and you want to be in this space. The space isn't going away. Voice is not going away. Voice is only going to grow in people's passive use of voice on the daily and voice assistants and asking questions and expecting answers in real time without having to sit there and type and search. So you need to be found in this space. So at our package price points and just to get into this arena, there is no reason I think that any real estate agent should not be doing some sort of flash briefings and promoting their flash briefings to their audience as a value add.
We took the code away, so no excuses.
Took the coding away, yeah.
Do it.
Do it now.
Do it.
Do it.
All right. Well, that's it for episode 00.
0.1.
Yes. We will be back next week. Don't know the topic yet. If you have suggestions, you can go to soundupnow.com/contact. If you're a member, you can go to the Facebook group and suggest things
that you'd want to be on the show, maybe.
If you want to talk about your briefing, or maybe you have some ideas. Maybe you're a flash briefing coach. I don't know if that's a thing yet. Maybe that should be your next industry.
Maybe we just started a thing.
I could have inspired you. We will take 40%. Anyway, we'll be back.
Peace.